इसके पड़ जाने की संभावना हो। तो तीन बातें, यानी जिसके हाथ में पड़ेगा वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्या लिखा हुआ है वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, और कैसे लिखा गया है वो इंपॉर्टेंट है। जो लिखा गया है और वही इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं। सेम थिंग may be described in so many manners. For example, if we are saying something about sex, sex is the most important part of human's life. No one can deny it. But explaining sex is one thing, educating about sex is one thing, and talking about gestures of sex is entirely different. If we talk about gestures in an early age of 14 or 15, it may be treated to be an obscene conversation. So these are the parameters of a textbook. And one thing more, a thing or an artistic thing may not be obscene in Hindi. Yes, there is difference of languages also. If certain languages are having tendency to be more mature, I repeat, अलग अलग भाषाओं की मैच्योरिटी का लेवल अलग है। एक बार मैं थोड़ा सा और इसमें स्पष्ट करता हूँ। एक बार मैंने ये देखा कि जो रशियन, आप अगर कभी रशियन बुक्स का अनुवाद पढ़ेंगे, मैंने पीछे पढ़ा था वो एक क्लर्क की मौत, इनके सरकारी बहुत अच्छी थी। तो मैंने रशियन लिटरेचर में देखा है कि 4-4, 5-5 लाइन्स के एक सेंटेंस होते थे, सेंटेंसेस ऑफ 4-5 लाइन्स, which we don't treat to be good one. अब लगा मैं सोचने कि आखिर अलग अलग भाषाओं के लिखने की अलग अलग संस्कृति क्यों होती है। फिर मेरे सामान्य सोच ने ये मुझे बताया, और मुझे लगता है कि अब तक मैं ठीक हूं, जब तक मुझसे बेहतर कोई बात नहीं आती। मुझे ये लगा कि सभ्यता के उन संस्कृतियों में जहां पर इनसिक्योरिटी ज्यादा है, वहां पर हम छोटे छोटे शब्द बोलते हैं। जंगल में मुझे किसी को पुकारना होगा तो जो बाद का शब्द होगा वो दीर्घ होगा, ओ उ नहीं बोलेंगे, ऊ। तो एवरी लैंग्वेज हैड इट्स ओन प्रोसेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट। अगर मेरी बात को तुरंत कहीं कोई काटने वाला होगा तो मैं छोटी बात कह करके रुकना चाहूंगा, और जहां मुझे ये सुरक्षा अवेलेबल होगी कि देयर इज नो वन टू स्टॉप मी, then size of my sentence may be longer. Good. I think what I feel that it is what happened with Russian language. Maybe that there may be less restrictions when Russian language was in the process of development. For other languages, if those restrictions were more in a particular language, maybe that sentences may be comparatively small. Now I come to my point. That meaning of obscenity or content of obscenity or process of explaining obscenity may be different in one language and it may be different in another language. For example, when I have read this poem from internet today itself before coming over here, I was having different kind of thinking. But when I just read Hindi translation of that poem, which was available with my elder brother Dr. Vishwas Gupta, it was entirely different. It is what had made the difference. अगर हिंदी का अनुवाद हिंदी वाला कोई व्यक्ति अपने तरीके से लिखता है तो पूरा का पूरा चाहे जैसे लिखे पूरा का पूरा भाव बदलता है, क्योंकि हिंदी न उसको मैं कमतर कह रहा हूँ न उसको बेहतर कह रहा हूँ, मैं केवल इतना कह रहा हूँ कि हिंदी की तासीर अलग है। English has its own nature, Hindi has its own nature, maybe French may be having its own nature which I am not aware of. But I am aware, I know at least these two languages, I can study, I can read and understand these two languages, and I feel that there is difference in the feeling, there is difference in the maturity level of these two languages. I think that for this, so one thing is what I write, number two, for whom I write. If it is meant for general consumption, it is not for classroom. I can write anything. I am free to write anything. It depends upon others whether they read me or they don't read me. But if I write for classrooms or that poem is meant for classroom, then parameters will be different too. Third thing is, if the same content must have different type of connotation when I write for classroom than when it is written for general public consumption. If I write for classroom, then and that too, if I write for those students, I repeat, I am telling it with all the honesty, with all the knowledge at my disposal, that if I write for those students or those people who know only one kind of relationship between male and female, there are thousands and thousands type of relationships between male and female. And if we are working for those who know that only one kind of relationship is possible between male and female, then I need to be more cautious, because they cannot interpret other thing than what they feel unless and until a teacher like Dr. Sudhir K is there. Because I have just seen his capabilities of arguments, and I have seen what you wanted to show, what you wanted to convince, you are in a position to convince. Up to here, I have not given any comment on merit of this poem. Now I am an expert to say about merit of this poem, because I am not fortunate enough to be a person from discipline of literature. But a general person and a person associated with law and associated with society, I feel that on these parameters a poem should be evaluated. And I think that in today's discussion, this poem will be evaluated on these parameters and on better parameters which you may point. I feel and I am hopeful that in discussions more things will come out and better discussion will be made. I again appreciate works of Dr. Sudhir Ji, and I think this discussion will be one more feathers in this cap. Thank you very much.